Okay, Google, what's the weather going to be like today?
Today in the Villages, it'll be mostly cloudy, with a forecasted high of 88 and a low of 71. Right now it's 86 and partly cloudy.
Good afternoon, everyone. On this, what a difference a day makes, right? On this cumulus cloud day with pretty blue skies, bright sunshine, and temperatures of something like, I forget what, but you probably got that on the beginning of the video. 86 something. But the humidity is very high today. Sitting out here in Lanai, I can feel it. But that's okay. I left the cold north for this. I have no complaints, but it is very humid. For those of you who can't stand the humidity, have trouble breathing, or any issues like that because of high humidity, Florida's probably not going to be the place for you. I have a friend, and she has, I want to say, COPD or something, and in the wintertime she can come down for a visit, but in the summer months it's absolutely not. I don't know what it's like, but I've watched people here that have breathing problems, and it's not good. It really isn't. They really can't get outside for very long periods of time, and when they do go out anywhere, they have to be, everything is taken in stride. I guess it's almost, they feel like they're kind of drowning. What the hell is that? Yeah, you guys can probably hear that. I got my windsock on the mic, but I thought I saw a little bitty, like a baby spider, crawling in the hair of this, or the fur of this mic. Oh well. So anyway, they say they feel like it's drowning. All the moisture in the air, they have a really tough time exerting themselves in the hot air. So swimming pools during the daytime is probably out. Any of that, walking, anything that exerts activity in the hot, humid air is pretty much out for them. Those people, if you have those kind of issues and you're thinking of retiring to Florida, you're a good candidate in my mind. Just my opinion. You don't have to agree with anything I say. You're a good candidate for being a snowbird. Come down during the winter months when the humidity's low, temperatures are a lot cooler, and around April, or maybe the 1st of May, I would probably think more along the lines of April, start packing your bags to head north, because toward the end of April, the humidity starts coming back. And depending on what year and how it is, like this year, the cold weather hung on for a little bit longer than normal. This is last of May, and now the heat up is beginning. And it's not going to go anywhere. So we're going to get a lot of rain now. The rainy season's here, and the heat's here, and so this is the way it's going to be through the summer, August, July and August, and even part of September. It's going to be in the 90s, 90 plus humidity probably every day. It's heavy air. Just keep that in mind when you come down here to buy a place. Okay, let's get on with the news. Been a busy week, let me say. I'm going to give a shout out real quick. I had a meet and greet at Brownwood last night at World of Beer. Talked a lot longer than I thought we were going to, but that's okay. He was kind enough to buy me some beer, and I appreciate it. And Sue had a good time talking to your wife and getting all the details about how much things cost, because as I've said before, I know a little bit about what some things cost, but Sue knows everything about what things cost because she pays the bills. I don't. So his wife got all the details from Sue about things. He's retired military. So they're down here on a lifestyle visit for a week. I think they're leaving Saturday. to head back to Alabama, and they're down here taking a good look around and see what they see and see if they like it, see if they don't like it, to see if it's a good fit for them or if it's not a good fit for them. But yeah, so we had a good time, and while we were talking, somebody else, and I didn't get a chance to talk to the gentleman, he stopped by and said hi to me and shook my hand, said he enjoyed the videos. I appreciate it very, very much. I said, I don't want to disturb you. I know you're talking to people. He said, I'll catch up with you later. And I said, okay. So I don't know what later means. I didn't see him that day. When we got done with those people, I got in a golf cart and came home. But whoever you was, maybe I'll see you again. We enjoy meeting new people. We do. So anyway, these blogs here, or this news here goes back to a few days last week, and they'll catch you up to today. And today is Thursday, and I do these on Bear Day to get these out of the way, get them downloaded, get them on YouTube for Friday morning, so I can go to Bear Day and not have to worry about all this. Overflowed crowd of villagers fights decision to put up fence at common area. I think I know what this story's about, but let me double check here to make sure. It's basically about a guy that has a premier home. Premier homes are the pricey homes, very pricey. And people are using a common area, they call it. It's just an open kind of a field behind this guy's house off of the golf cart trail. So people get their dogs and their golf carts and they all ride up there, and generally they park in the grass and whatever. And then they get their dogs out and take them out there to, I don't know what they do their job or whatever. I think the problem is, all deed restrictions here says your pet must be on the leash at all times once it's outside the house. And a lot of people just figure that doesn't really mean anything, and I've seen them up there. They'll get out of their golf cart and let the dog just run. Now, the dog may be under your control. He might be well trained. We had a dog years and years ago. His name was Jack. And he was about as disciplined as any dog I've ever had. If I told him to come, stop, sit, whatever, he just done it. Very friendly dog, wouldn't hurt her soul. But that's not what the rule says, is it? I mean, that's just not what the rules are. So I think that's the biggest problem. And he's complaining about people coming up literally next to his lanai, I guess. And he just doesn't like it. I don't blame him. But at the same time, it's probably the pet owners causing this problem. And so he's requested a fence to be put up to stop people from bringing their golf carts and stuff out there. And I think the villages at one time agreed to it. And now the people are saying that it's not right to spend thousands of dollars on a fence for one individual. I understand that. I do see that. I see both sides of a coin here. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. Overflow crowd of villagers fights to sit here. It is to put up fence at common area. An overflowed crowd of residents showed up Monday morning to fight an earlier project-wise advisory committee decision to put up a fence. Residents are angry about a fence that had been approved for a 3-acre parcel along the multimodal path that parallels Morris Boulevard south of County Road 466A. That's down here. How does the committee justify building a fence for one person? And she said it was the estimated cost to be $5,000 for the fence, and unnecessary expense of residents' maintenance assessment fees. The complaint from homeowner Marvin Rosser was that the area has become a dog park. Rosser attended Monday's meeting but did not speak. Villagers who take their dogs there said they pick up after their dogs. I'm saying probably 99% of them do, but there's always that certain percentage that don't. So you can't say everybody picks up. Unless you walk that whole 3 acres, you don't know that. And the dogs are generally well behaved. That's probably true. Are they on a leash? See, they never discuss these little details. He said after the past April's CDD 10 meeting, in which the issue was raised, he immediately drove to the area. I was not surprised, he said. Wally said he saw 4 golf carts parked on the grass and 2 dogs running loose. Ah, shocker. with owners engaged in conversation, not paying attention to the dogs. He said he saw much of the same during many subsequent visits. I saw it with my own 2 eyes. Well, let's go on with that. And that's the problem, isn't it? These people don't hate dogs. I don't hate dogs. I don't even really hate the dog owners. It's just that we have rules. You signed a paper at the bank saying that you would follow these rules. You received a copy of your deed restrictions, which is the neighborhood and villages rules. It says your pet must be on leash at all times outside the house. So when you're going to an area that's really not a designated dog park, it's just an open area. It's not fenced off in any way. It doesn't prevent your dog all of a sudden seeing something and taking off after it. You couldn't stop it. And that's the problem. So blame yourself, people. Blame yourself. Classic song leads to touching moment between an 81-year-old villager and 18-year-old granddaughter. 81-year-old Frank Nardone and his 18-year-old granddaughter, Brooke Falls, shared this beautiful rendition of Somewhere Over the Rainbow at a rec center somewhere. They were sitting outside singing, I guess. Hey, this is kind of interesting for those of you just wanting to buy in the Finney, Southern Oaks area. I reported this, gosh, I don't know, 6 months ago, 7 months ago, about a certain acreage down there is going to be set aside for agricultural, and wasn't sure if they were going to rent plots out to people that want a garden. I'm not sure what they were going to do, but this kind of explains some of it. Hydroponic villages grown to offer produce to local restaurants and grocery stores. Wildwood Commission have endorsed the rezoning of 85 acres near the southwest corner of State Road 44 and County Road 468. For those of you that don't know, 468 on the south side of 44, you take Morris Boulevard and go completely south. You're going to come to a huge stoplight at Highway 44. You're going to go straight to head to Finney. On the other side of 44, that turns into 468, same road. They're in the process of changing that road from 468 to Morris Boulevard. That way it'll be Morris Boulevard just all the way through. The action was among several involving the villages of Southern Oaks at the Commission's Monday morning meeting. The village's grown land currently is zoned for age-restricted development. The rezoning petition must be submitted to the Florida Department of Economic Opportunity for approval because it is part of a development of regional impact. Then it will come back to the city commissioners for final approval. The Villages Grown project announced last week at the annual evening with the developer. Those of you who don't know, once a year the developer has a show. I don't know where it was held this year, but in the past it's been, I think, at Savannah Center, it's been at different rec centers, whatever. And he'll sit down for, I'm going to say, I've never been to one of them, an hour, and he talks about future plans, how things has been going the last year, interesting things like here's one of them. The average home in the villages last year rose by 5.2%. So even as an investment, not a bad deal. He talks about how many new businesses have moved in, what's going on in the future, what'll be done next month, what'll be done next year, it's stuff like that. And I don't know if he takes any questions or not. Probably not. And in his situation, that's probably smart, really, not to take questions. Yeah, and you can find this on the Village's V-mail. Anybody that wants to see what the developer had to say or how he said it, you can go to YouTube and type in the Village's V-mail. And there's all these different V-mail, and you can even sign up for it where you'll get notified on your phone. I do, and I watch them on my phone. And I try to pass it along to you the best I can. But yeah, go to Village's V-mail, and you can find all kinds of things on there. What his last meeting, other things, the monthly updates are on there, and you can hear a lot of stuff. The evening with the developer event involves growing vegetables in greenhouses and using hydroponics method. The vegetables may be sold to restaurants, grocery stores, and direct to the public. It's going to be a really unique project. And that came from Mayor Ed Wolf, Wildwood. So, now you know. Flooding from heavy rains wreak havoc. Yeah, we went and played golf yesterday and got our holes in, no problem. The day before that we played Havana, which is a championship course, country club. And in order to get to Havana from here, I have to go through one tunnel there by Colony Plaza, the Colony Rec Center. It was fine. And then we got to go through another tunnel to get to the Havana Rec Center, and it was fine. There was a little water laying on the right and left side of the tunnel, but it looked like it all drained out pretty well, so I didn't really see a big problem. But then again, it probably drained out before we got there. Flooding was reported in at least 3 golf cart tunnels Monday morning as the toll from days of continuous rain began to show itself to the villages. Crews were busy pumping water out of the tunnel at Mariposa Way and Morris Boulevard, an area that is no stranger to flooding issues. Villagers also reported floodwaters in a tunnel near Hope Lutheran Church that crosses under County Road 466. I know where that is. And in the passageway under Buena Vista Boulevard near Saddlebrook Recreation Center. I was up there last week, a tunnel up there. Like, you know, debris, leaves, palm leaves. These palm leaves are big. And you get 3 or 4 of them on the ground after a wind or hard rain, and they wash into the tunnel. They lay on top of them drains, and they really clog the drains up. And really, all they need to do is walk in there with wade boots and pull them off, and then the water starts draining again. So that's probably what happened. That'd be my best guess. So anyway, water's clear, tunnels are clear, everything's good to go. So I'm looking. A recently released inmate arrested in snatching a woman's purse at Lake Sumter Landing. Let me see. Usually I got a picture of these guys and I try to show them to you. I don't know. Some of these guys just, to me, they just look like they're up to no good. This guy here too. Now he's been arrested, keep in mind. And I don't know if you noticed it, but you'll see a lot of red spots all over his face. A lot of them. I'm not saying this kid is. I'm saying it probably is. Whenever you see somebody with red spots just literally all over their face like this, kid, like they sit there and they pick on all the time, it's usually a sign of drugs, heroin. I don't know why. I don't know anything about drugs, heroin. I don't know why it causes that, but every time they arrest somebody down here and said they had a heroin, they're addicted to heroin, they all look like this. So anyway, there's the guy. Tough guy. Stealing a 71-year-old lady's purse. A recently released inmate has been arrested in the snatching of a woman's purse at Lake Sumter Landing. The woman had been walking to her golf cart shortly before 10 p.m. May 3rd after getting off work at a business on Old Mill Run. According to an arrest report from the Sumter County Sheriff's Office, the woman was loading items into the cart when a car pulled up. A man jumped out and he stole her purse. The turquoise purse contained her Samsung Galaxy 7 and a wallet. The deputies were able to obtain surveillance footage and discovered the car's license plate number. The 1996 Buick was tracked down last week to a resident in Wildwood. On Northeast 31st Lane, south of the village of Finney. Ryan Tyler Pierce, 21, admitted to stealing the purse.